morning, and welcome to the Ruint podcast.
Good morning.
I think I'm going to start going with what was that Saturday Night Live skit where they do, why can't I think of the national radio syndicate that's popular, where they all talk in monotone voices. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but
NPR.
Yeah,
I'm just going to start doing NPR voices. Hello. Welcome to the Ruint podcast.
Yeah, they're super calm. They sound like they've been sedated. Everybody on NPR sounds like they're on a bunch of ketamine.
They did the sweaty balls. Was that the Saturday Night Live skit where it's...
It could be.
With
that's the one that Julia cracks up about.
Yeah, who's the dude that just accidentally shot the gun or maybe purposely?
Alec Baldwin.
He was on there.
Yeah.
And it's I forget the two cast members where they're like, yeah, I really would like to talk about your sweaty ball recipe that you've come up with. It's a great skit. For those of you that need to check it out. So co-hosting with me today is Mr. Noah Hovell.
Greetings.
It's good to have you in here.
Thanks for having me.
The rainstorm outside on this tin roof is really making for quite the impression on the recording. We also have with us today Academy Award winner Brooks Dunkelberger.
Good morning.
Just angry farmer. We could just do Mark Dunkelberger impressions for the entire episode if you want to.
But that doesn't fit because nobody knows who he is yet. But
I'm also out of breath by trying to do this voice and keep myself contained a little bit.
I can tell.
The restraint is hard to do.
You're bursting at the seams.
Welcome to the Ruint podcast, guys. Good to be here. It is, what day is it, Noah? Friday, June 29th.
Right.
We've had a lot going on. Most importantly, an injury.
Yeah,
Put it up here.
Dude, I don't know if I
Can you get your leg that high?
Flop that boot up here.
Look at this.
I got air ride.
He's got the Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, it's like the Reebok pumps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. How'd that happen, Noah?
Not sure.
Tied your shoes?
Like I told you guys, it's the first injury I've had with no story behind it. So I woke up, couldn't walk, went to the doctor, found I had a broken bone in my foot.
Maybe it's like that movie, Brooks, and I don't know why I keep referencing pop culture today, but maybe it's, what's the movie with Kathy Bates where she...
Misery.
Yeah.
Misery? Maybe he was hobbled.
Maybe your wife's misery in you while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
They said I had broken bones in my foot from years ago. They're still just broken in there, and then I have a fresh one.
Maybe it's from playing air guitar in the scrapyard.
That could be.
Yeah, hopefully they have to take the leg.
I hope so.
Oh, man. He'd be a pirate. Dar. Scrap pirate would be cool, though. We could come out with that cool stuff. Get into just some basic news. We had a presidential debate last night, boys.
Not really. Not really. No.
I wouldn't call it presidential.
No, I mean, that was pretty far from a fucking debate, and it's the bird is dead with both wings here, folks. We got nobody and nothing.
Yeah, it
was entertaining, at least.
Oh,
yeah.
It was entertaining as
Maybe
fuck.
if it wasn't for who's running the country, but...
And we had some good staring off into space.
Some trailing off
sentences.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how his handlers could put him out there.
Yep.
You know?
And
handlers.
Right.
Well, that's what they are, yeah.
They've been all huddled up at Camp David for the last week. They had to know that this dude's not capable of doing it. His wife has got to know that this dude's not capable of doing it. She's like the puppet master, apparently.
So I'm glad you said that, because Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports had a great tweet of Joe Biden's post-debate rally,
Yeah.
I'll call it that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pointing, we'll put the link to it below, but she's pointing, Dave says, I can't stop watching this. That's what Dave's caption is. And she's pointing at Joe going, you were great. You answered every single question. And she's like...
No, I watched it live, and I'm raising a new dog right now, and it reminded me of the way I talk to my dog. It really does.
You just can't beat Trump's comebacks, though.
No,
No matter what he says, he's got some shit.
Right. Yeah. Not really sure how he ended that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said. But
I mean, it was just brutal to watch.
It's kind of cringeworthy to watch. But what I want to touch on is the internet is undefeated when it comes to this kind of thing.
They always will be.
Elon Musk of Tesla and X had a great quote that says, tonight there was a clear victory, or tonight was a clear victory, ... for memes.
Yeah.
And I encourage all of you, this will be old news by the time this airs probably, but go check out presidential debate memes and just, you don't have to go to a comedy show. You can just sit back and watch those. So there's also a reporter named Kyle Porter from CBS Sports, and his caption here is I remember when men were men and presidents pounded the driver with reckless abandon instead of hollering about their handicaps on national television.
Speaking of which, Jeff, how do you feel knowing Joe Biden has a better handicap than you?
Before I get into that,
he's an obvious sandbagger. There's no fucking way that guy's been a 6.
Went from an 8 to a 6.
I mean, maybe in the 1980s he was a 6.
but the video that goes along with that caption is George Bush talking about taking out terrorists and how he calls on all nations to end terrorism, and then says, "Now watch me hit this drive." And so that was good job, Kyle Porter from CBS Sports. But yeah, if President Biden is not lying, I need to get him on my team, Brooks. You might be out if he's a 6 handicap.
Yeah, like I said, there's no way he's a 6 handicap, and I think the hardest part about that whole thing is just the idea that we don't have a clear choice. And as a moderate Republican, I left the Republican Party in 20, and I feel like a man without a country here. It's hard to believe that the Democrats can't put up somebody that isn't dead on arrival.
More importantly is they were arguing about their handicaps, and it was between an 8 and a 6. Not only the fact that they were arguing about their handicaps.
Neither one of them's an 8 either. There's just no fucking way.
Maybe from the middle of the fairway. If you're 100 yards out, they might be an 8 or a 6.
They got to be talking about video games or something, and I'm not even sure they could do it on a video game at this point.
Putting the spin on it in Tiger Woods?
Yeah. I mean, there's something we're missing. Neither one of those fuckers can play at that level. They just can't.
How many championships?
Yeah, how many club championships have you won, Brooks?
I've won 0 club championships, the same number as Donald Trump.
There might be a plaque that says different.
I'm sure there is.
Hardware that says different.
I mean, I could make a fucking plaque today too if I wanted to.
But you wouldn't feel good about it.
I wouldn't. I'd feel dishonest.
Speaking of feeling a certain way, I want to point out something to you two that's not in the script here today. I went ahead and mowed it diagonally out front. And neither one of you fucks noticed that.
Well, it's hard to see the stripe.
And
has to be something.
I also didn't feel any better about myself.
Well, you should.
No,
I mean,
not
that's
once.
One of the first steps of being an adult.
I did
is striping
diagonal
and not.
in the front and the side and over here, and none of you even noticed.
It's downpouring.
Well, it was hard. Yeah, it's like flash flooding out. We're not going to notice.
Let's not make excuses. Boys. Play like a champion today, okay?
Right. Should have seen it because you were standing outside with an umbrella for an hour.
That is true.
So you're going to shit on a guy for being prepared for the weather? Like, you're going to walk around in a fucking downpour?
I've never seen a
ridiculous boot?
All you were missing was the yellow outfit, and you could have been the man in the yellow hat.
Like Curious George felt like the girl on the Morton Salt Can. But I didn't have any of the galoshes that Noah usually wears.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're in some heavy downpour rain here, and it sounds like it's lighting up, actually.
Speaking of which, up in Spencer, Iowa,
Gone.
it's gone.
Finito.
It made our flooding in Kellogg look like nothing.
That was rough.
We do some business with the folks from Shine Brothers up there, and my driver called me at 6:30 last night when he should have been home at 3 or 4. It said he had to take a lot of detours around the city of
But
Spencer.
somehow Shine is dry.
Yeah, they're taking scrap and all that stuff. So
They're more away from the river.
yeah, they're up a little bit, but no. So good luck to those folks, and we're thinking about you, and hopefully everything's safe up there. But more importantly, you guys didn't notice my mow line, so I might be going back to doing it the way I always did. I do think it went
about
faster. I'll give you that.
It'll go a lot
I
faster.
figure it did go. It felt like it went a little faster.
You run an outline and then run the diagonal.
That's what I did.
Yeah, you run
on
the
all of it.
outline, then go back to the center, start at the center, and work your way out. Now it looks like you know what you're doing. Whereas before, it's just a big swirl in your yard.
Neither one of you noticed. I just want to point that out.
Because of the flash flooding.
No,
Next
you
time
literally
you
were
notice.
outside inspecting it under an umbrella, like a course manager.
I wasn't inspecting
you
it. I was
noticed
trying to
one
get rid
thing
of the leg
about
cramp that
it.
had me fucking bucking inside my vehicle.
What is
like
going on with you
fucking
two?
horse.
We got broken foots, leg cramps. Tia's dying of some illness that we don't know about. Tia's not on camera today because she's a bit under the weather.
Like quirks.
Well, she can talk though, so that's good.
Grilled cheese and she got sick.
Yeah, she had some dino nuggies and grilled cheese, and then her tum hurt. So you guys are dropping like flies.
Hey, I'm still going.
This is about perseverance. You got to come through.
And I had
Not get cramped up in the Jeep.
Well, it's just dehydration. It's a small setback. You know,
It's 60 degrees. Dehydrated.
We're gonna have you could be dehydrated 60 degrees.
what do you think that dehydration is dependent on the temperature?
I know what you're thinking of when it's hot.
That's not how that works.
When it's hot, if you get dehydrated, it's 60 degrees and you're complaining.
Folks, we're gonna put out an injury
So you
report.
think that people don't get
hold on.
dehydrated in the winter?
Yeah, but idiots that can't drink water.
We'll have medical corner with
If you
Noah,
get dehydrated-
and then also we're gonna put an injury report out 90 minutes before each broadcast from now on, so we can make sure you guys
I
are.
think your brain is severely dehydrated.
No.
It is. It's like a fucking raisin bouncing around in there.
You got water on yours.
Moving on. This is very entertaining.
Devolved
I'm
into
glad.
something resembling a presidential debate.
Well, let's get a sponsor that'll give us
you're-
some
yeah,
hydration.
absolutely. You're more prone to get dehydrated if it's hot out, but dehydration is not a seasonal thing.
It's like allergies.
Right.
Brooks got seasonal dehydration.
Right. That doesn't exist.
That's going to be, we'll have one of our employees call in now. Sorry, I've got seasonal dehydration. I can't come in today. So, some other topics we've hit on before, so just kind of want to rebound. We obviously, in Iowa here, have a connection to the whole Caitlin Clark story, and WNBA rising viewership.
It's entertaining as fuck to watch. I didn't know that. Maybe it's always been, but it's fun to watch, and especially with the new rivalries. And we've got a bunch of girls that came from these Iowa teams that we've been watching the past couple of years. So, it's like a new sport for me. It's been a riot to watch.
Yeah. You getting a lot of viewing of the, well, you don't have,
I seen it at the bar last night.
did you?
Yeah. I watched the Vegas team and
Chicago.
yeah, I watched them.
Yeah.
Is Kate Martin, she's still starting for Vegas, or did she even start?
I don't know if she starts.
Feel like
Former Iowa Hawkeye Kate Martin.
I feel like she comes off the bench.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I was looking for, but I was 10 beers deep. Buy one, get one free. So
yeah.
So that's why you went. It's because of the buy one get one free.
So we went to a concert in the bar next to the place. It's called Sully's Irish Pub or something. But they do buy one, get one free beers and drinks. So we had like 10 beers and nachos for $32.
Nice.
It was a damn good deal.
It's a damn good deal.
He's always looking in the clearance aisle, if you know what I mean. He's
If I could go to a clearance bar, I'm there.
it's,
Still, you could have got a month of internet for $32, probably. Close.
I got drunk instead.
I'm not sure that it's worth it in that case.
I wasn't dehydrated.
Speaking of getting drunk, Jeffrey should not be allowed in the metropolitan area of the Iowa City anymore.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's one of those places where it just drives you to drink. It's like anything goes.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's just, I don't know what it is about the place, but like I told you, it's kind of like gives you that feeling of being in Las Vegas or Miami. It's just like, I'm here, I need to drink.
Yeah. Brooks has a saying, for those of you that don't know, that he thinks I look like a celebrity from far away, but then people are just severely disappointed when they get up and see it's just me.
Right, but still want to get the picture. So
They got
to,
the, so I don't think that's the case. They wanted pictures. I'd take several pictures. We posted one. Mama Sarah was her name. It was, Mama Sarah and Auntie Heather. Yeah. So we had some fun with them, took some tequila shots. I do, but I had plenty of it yesterday. And was just a real awesome dude at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Iowa City. So,
I just can't figure out who they think you are. Like maybe
they think I'm me, Brooks.
No, they think you're a celebrity from a distance, and then they come to you excited, ready to meet somebody important.
Unreal.
And it's just Jeffrey. But who do they think
Also
you are
important.
from a distance?
I don't know.
I can't figure it out.
That's why I saw Jim Duggan. He said Dugan.
Yeah, maybe one of the ZZ Top guys that sat at Chili's for too long or something.
Man.
Did you get in a fight at a Chili's?
Me?
Yeah. Or was that you?
That was Brooks.
Applebee's.
Same thing.
No, it wasn't Applebee's. It was Carlos.
Carlos O'Kelly's. Or was it?
It was kids' night.
Kids night?
Yeah.
Oh, it was not even Thursday?
No.
He was wrestling dudes on kids.
No, it was a Tuesday. It was kids' night. Kids eat free, and
He was defending a woman's honor.
I'm pounding on this
Brooks gave out free
dude,
hamburgers.
and this kid's looking at me like I'm a murderer. So I figured I better get up and the fuck out of there.
So that's maybe it. Maybe people see you and think potential murderer,
Yeah.
prisoner,
Could be.
and they see me and are just attracted to what this is. Just
Which is what exactly?
they've been trying to figure it out for years. So
One day.
yeah, but all right, moving on. We touched on our golf game. We're all not very good. Brooks is good.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm the only one that's not good.
No, you have flashes of greatness.
Yes.
I think that's the appeal of golf, though, because anybody
Right.
can have a tour level shot at any moment. You never
Right.
know.
Actually,
Exactly.
can I share my story on 3 there?
Mm-hmm.
I was not behind a tree, but the branches of the tree were I was in the fairway, but they were covering my sight line to the hole.
You're used to that.
Yeah, you used to playing from the rough, if you know what I mean. And so I said to Brooks, we were in this tournament together. I said, I'm gonna try to hook this thing, and I know I'm not good enough to do it. I said, but at this point, I think I duffed like the 3 shots in front of it, so I was kind of ready. I had to scramble at this point. I hit this shot, and it bent around the tree and landed.
In the fairway.
Yeah, two
And
2 feet in front of the green.
This is a mean dogleg hole, and just the perfect stinger like
This that
hook.
sunny side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
That par 5?
Yeah, with the pond on the left.
Yeah.
So I was on the left-hand side and had to bend it around the tree to get it up there.
And
again.
not bend far enough that it goes in the water.
Right, yeah. And there's no way I could ever hit the shot
I'd set
again.
your stance up for that.
Put my left foot forward a little bit, my right foot back.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was.
Didn't have another shot the rest of the day, but that one was awesome. So, but we got another tournament coming up for us boys, and Tia has abandoned us.
You left our team.
No.
Yeah.
Mac can't go.
Mac abandoned us.
Yeah.
Over
Tia's coming.
over a dog,
So
but
I'm-
Tia's jumping ship on teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What am I to do? Put Tom with all the girls?
Oh, it's a
I
jealousy thing. Okay.
No.
Whatever.
But he
Do we not trust
Jealousy.
Tom enough
He
with
just knows Julia. That's it.
who else?
He's never met
Chelsea and
and
Oh.
I don't know who the other gal
Well,
is.
Chelsea's spoken for. Yeah,
So-
Julia's the only one you got to worry about.
Well, okay. I just thought he'd have more fun with you guys.
No, it'll be
It'll
fun.
be blast, and
a
yeah, it's
fun
gonna be
tournament.
awesome. But thanks for abandoning us. And
I just want you to know you're
You're
an
welcome.
opponent now.
yeah, now,
Yeah.
now you're part of the enemy.
You have balls flying at you from different
Yep.
fairways.
Fucking no mercy.
Yep. So
All right.
we're gonna have Tom just throw you in the water.
I got to be honest, though.
You
If we
would.
tried to hit you with the ball, we wouldn't.
Yeah, you're safe if we're trying to aim for you. So, but that is for the American women in metals industry.
At which you are a keynote speaker.
Yeah,
for the
me and
industry
Jules
dinner.
are going to speak up the night before
What are you going to talk about?
this things and stuff. And
Just going to go up there. Oh, I'm really glad you guys can have me up here tonight.
so you just did that. Nobody knows that's how we started. So
You're going to do that.
yeah, I'll clap and say, "Hey, great to be here."
Are you
from?
going to
What's your name?
prepare a presentation?
Yes,
Can I do the slideshow?
Is it going to be a slideshow?
I think so.
All right.
Tia's actually going to do it, and
Is there a picture of me on the slideshow?
yeah, we can probably figure that out.
Might need a couple slides to get me all in.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that Noah should be in the slideshow.
are we? We can put.
He's not an American woman in metal.
I got American on my thumb.
No, but we'll say this is what we used to hire, and then we'll put a picture of Tia up and say this is what we hire now.
Yeah.
We turned the corner.
We've making progress.
This is getting worse.
We also should tell. No, maybe we shouldn't tell our story about hiring tobacco and drinking.
Probably not.
We'll leave the name out of it, but we probably should. That probably wouldn't be good to be like. We hired this woman one time, and she told us in the interview that she doesn't do anything bad but chews tobacco and drinks on the weekends. And then Noah hired her.
I didn't. I said I was scared of her.
I for the first 4 days, she was the greatest employee ever. And then
It's usually how it goes.
went downhill after that. So
Down after that.
But yeah, so looking forward to that event coming up. I was told July 9th. Is that the tournament or the dinner?
I think the 8th is the dinner.
8th is the dinner, 9th is. Yep. So looking forward to that. And
I've been thinking it was the 19th for.
me too. Yeah.
I might be golfing in a boot.
Ooh. I wonder if you get to play from a different tee with that.
Yeah, do I get handicap tees? Somebody look that up.
Yeah.
How long do they say you have to wear the boot?
2 weeks, but I don't feel any pain, so I might not even wear it tomorrow.
Just
That's a
play in
good
your
idea.
socks.
Yeah, I'll play barefoot. Yeah, let's hope it's hot as fuck. Like
Yeah, it usually is. So.
Yeah, because that means we can have both frogs.
burritos in our cart.
Breakfast burritos.
They give out breakfast burritos there. We're stealing like 8 of them.
I know they do.
What is up with you two and taking more than one breakfast burrito?
Was it not?
Because I'm fat. I need more than they can provide.
We got to like
I need more. I need more fuel.
we got midway through the round though, and I'm like, "Hey, you want a burrito again?" So we're unwrapping our burritos out of the cart.
The sunny side?
Yeah,
And the hottest burritos, temperature-wise.
Fuck. They
Ever-
were hot as fuck.
Yeah.
imagine how I felt carrying 4 of them out of there, trying to run to the cart,
Hope nobody sees me.
burning the shit out of myself.
Not to mention just decked out in push gear while you're doing it. Yeah, so, I mean, there's that.
In the crew, if anybody asked.
Yeah, absolutely. So, other topics I got in here are a lot of people ask about the arena football team. Haven't been doing so hot.
But man, we got pretty close in the last game, and it was the funnest football game I've watched in a long time.
So,
You know, as a spectator.
oh yeah, it's supposed to be entertaining.
Highlights and everything, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, winning the double overtime, that was exciting, but came out on the short end of the stick there. I'll do my part and promote the league here. You can definitely check us out at the arenaleague.football. We also stream every game on YouTube, which you can go back and watch too. Tia, is there a link from the Woo website, or is that only on the league?
It's only on the league,
Okay.
but it's on all of our social media
Yep.
channels.
We had a lot of fun
Everything.
promoting that game. And you guys make fun of me for doing the voices, but we got a lot of compliments for the voices on
Oh, are you talking about your
Saturday. Push, pull, or drag.
we got beer. Car eating dinosaur. Yeah, it was
We got
awesome.
beer.
Yeah, he did. And he did a pose on it too.
Yeah.
He's like, we got beer. No, it was
got a
great.
bouncy house.
That's a perfect way to promote the game. I mean, I think you did a pretty good job.
Also, there was another one before that. I think we did the day before or something, maybe, Tia, where I said the wrong date for the game that was 3 days away from what it was. So me and Tia were there, shot it. Then we had to go back and reshoot it again because I had messed up like 3 hours later, and people on social media were having a fit.
When you get videos of us running drills,
Doesn't this dude know a calendar?
Yeah, we could do Oklahoma's right here in this building.
Here in the shed?
the turf.
No, let's do it on the concrete.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that, pal.
It has traction. I'll pump this motherfucker up.
You'll break another bone. You're too brittle for this kind of shit.
As fun as this has been, let's get into scrap, boys. So we are at the end of June here. I got a few comments this morning on how people think markets are going to shake out. And we're looking sideways again. July's always kind of a weird, tough month, too. Just a lot of shutdown, a lot of cleanup and stuff like that. So on the Ferris side, we are looking soft sideways, which I always have a problem saying out loud. But soft sideways is how the market's looking. Right, Tia?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. We had a good month here at Push. Got a lot of our materials out that we needed to, and are getting set up to have a blast off into the late summer, early fall, and it's winter time. We might as well start preparing for winter now. So
Yeah, it's weird the way it works in this industry, but everything is sort of planned out so far into the future that you kind of have to prepare for it months in advance.
winter is coming.
Winter is here.
Yep. So Christmas right around the corner now.
Like winter takes up the whole year.
It does. It's always winter.
I think we need to either A,
Go to Texas.
we're moving south, or B, get our indoor scrapyard set up. That's your only 2 options.
Yeah, both of those are cost prohibitive. I'm afraid.
No.
Well, how much is it going to cost to put an indoor? I mean, what would the roof cost for something like
You just
that?
need like a football stadium.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, with no bleachers.
$50 million.
Save the bleachers. You save the concessions. It's just a big.
You don't got to put a kitchen in there. Actually, yeah, we do. You got to put a break room for the guys and gals.
Okay, but
I don't know. With the crew we got at Waterloo, we might be able to sell tickets to watch those cats. Bucket.
you probably got the real bleachers around.
I've been saying for years we should start a reality show.
For sure.
Like,
I mean, we should at least get some clips of these guys. I don't know if there's a way to mic them somehow, but
I guarantee you we could convince Jerry to wear a GoPro.
It'd be awesome.
It would be awesome.
Nah, you'd have to bleep, bleep, bleep.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to be on
We're not putting it on PBS.
Saturday morning cartoons. It's just going to be on this channel here.
Yeah.
And then we got Jerry live and uncut.
All right. Don't say that about Jerry.
Live. The live part or uncut?
Uncut.
Well, I think he's probably
Stop.
Probably.
Don't go any further.
probably done at home. Or in the RV that he was born in.
He's hatched from an egg. So, non-ferrous. Scare on Copper dropping off this week, but she's rebounding now. So we're bringing back on Copper. Aluminum's still hanging on there strong. We've got some nickel we're moving around. So not a big change.
I feel like
Besides that big dick.
much. Do you think?
When you compare it to
Like copper.
nickel products or copper, no. I mean, it doesn't take off and drop. It's also more supply too, and so that kind of affects that whole market a little bit. So, but for those of you watching that sell a scrap, continue to do so. We'll definitely take that. We had a funny thing happen at the scrapyard this week. Long story short, a guy wanted to buy some steel out of our scrapyard. We told him no. He then went and finagled one of our employees who said to ask this person, to which he told that person that the office told him he could take this. So then we had to call in for theft and then chase him around. And I was hot on his tail on the with the non-emergency folks saying, it can get handled by me if you'd like it to. And they said, no, we'd rather you not engage. I said, I'm in pursuit.
I'm in pursuit.
And they said, sir, they said, we'd like you to stop pursuing him. I said, all right, I'll hold off on my pursuit. So
You bet. And it's one of our long-term
people, have done business with us for a long time. And so then
it makes you wonder how many times he's gotten away with it.
And quite frankly, we had to have a conversation with our employees about being vigilant. They wanted to call 6 different people before anybody would do anything. Well, by the time that happened, this guy's loading I-beams into his truck and rolling out. And, it's more the value of it isn't necessarily the principle here. It's the principle. That's the principle, Brooks.
It's the
Principal Brooks.
Let's stop saying principle now. No, it sucks.
Right.
It sucks. You got to trust these guys to a certain degree, and when you find out you can, it's a bummer because, like I said, this guy's been coming to this place for years and years, and, how many times has he done it?
Right. I'd also like to get some feedback from our viewers on this, too. Noah, we've talked about this at your yard. Noah's facility in particular is very spread out, and we were having to put the peddlers in the mix of the other scrap operations the way we used to do it, which would then, A, it's a safety problem, and B, trying to keep track of all these people versus kind of concentrate them to one area. So we actually switched up what he does at his facility, and all peddler traffic now goes to one certain area, whether it's ferrous or non-ferrous, and we have eyes on them full time now. Our Waterloo yard and even our Brett yard, we are implementing those processes now. But I'm curious how other scrap yards do it, because it makes sense to have, if you got a sheet iron pile, the guy goes dumps it in sheet iron. What you don't see is that he passes the P&S on the way out and the number 2 on the way out.
And there's so much going on during the day, especially if it's busy. Like, these guys can come in there and steal things undetected most of the time. And you're only really looking at surveillance cameras in the event that something happens. So, a lot of theft is just impossible to stop.
Unless you do concentrate them on one area, then say, okay.
Right. If you can kind of keep them in one zone of your place, then that's becomes a little easier. But then you wonder, these guys have been driving around the scrapyard for who knows how long. Do they come back at night?
100%. And, you know, then another necessary that doesn't necessarily, well, it prevents you from losing money, but is the investment in some kind of security camera system and all that stuff. You know, there's scrapyards out there that have full-time security guards at them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and
we've
talked about doing it for a long time, and it's just another thing to add to the, you know, a lot of people say, oh, if you know, are involved in the scrapyard, if you own one, there's a lot of money in it and all. So they also don't realize what it costs to run this thing. You know, it's not like it's not like garbage guys who just, you know, get paid no matter what. You know, we've got several hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in the processing of all this stuff.
A lot of variables to go into.
Right. Yeah. It's not just a free for all. And kind of leads us into our next story here. And this was I could relate to this one a little bit, and I think you'll laugh. I know you read all these, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. But we had this comes from us from the, I'm going to say this wrong, Ozaukee County News Graphic, which is up by Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Had a truck tip over on the highway, on the off-ramp of a highway, loading some scrap out. Again, part of the nature of the beast, so I don't know if this was a contract haul or if it was an actual scrapyard. That doesn't say in here, but luckily only minor injuries. Nobody was hurt, but scraps all over the place. And it just reminded me of a few stories we've had happened between A-Line and Push over the years. So,
yeah, well, anytime I'm on the road next to a truck that's full of scrap material, it's final destination shit for me. Like, I'm trying to get around this fucker as quick as I can.
Ride the tailgate.
You have a lot of people, yeah, they do it on purpose. Like,
they don't know.
Right.
Like, I've seen these fucking tub doors swing open at...
Right, and it doesn't take much to go through the windshield and take your fucking head off. Right. So you guys need to give these guys some breathing room like you would any other truck.
100%. And depending on how it's loaded too, and thank God I've never had this happen to us, but you do see people who purposely want a piece of scrap to come hit them.
You don't want that.
You don't want that, no. So we had a deal one time where we lost some heavy cast iron. Tornado siren? No. Never mind. We're stopping the broadcast for Noah's fear.
Or tornado siren.
We'll be safe under this
crying
bar here. Yeah. So, anyways, we one time lost a piece of cast, and I don't think it hurt anybody, but I think somebody ran over it or something like that.
It could.
That could have easily been final destination.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a roll off though. It wasn't a. Yeah, it would crush a car. Some of those cast iron pieces, but that was a roll off that happened to, where our driver, who's no longer with us, didn't have the load as secure as he could have, and properly secured. He said it's got to be the equipment's fault. It can't be him.
No, never is.
And that's right. Never could be operator here.
No,
but
who never plays a part.
Right.
But he's perfect.
Yep. I also one time was part of one of our trailers, and this was a freak accident. It lost the tire and went into the cornfield. The guy.
Have you seen what a fucking tire can do rolling down the highway?
This dude went and got it. He went a mile and a half into the cornfield to get this tire and brought it back out.
I saw a video the other day where oncoming traffic, a truck loses a tire and it bounces over the median into the other lane, and this car hits this tire that's rolling pretty slow at this point, and it vaults the fucking car up in the
air. Yeah,
as a flip.
Yeah,
like that's.
But then
crazy.
They landed and got a 10 for the landings.
I wouldn't call it, but a solid 8.5.
We live our lives by solid 8.5.
That's true. Yeah. We also had one time, and no, this would have been before you, but and he's the gentleman's no longer with us on the planet here, but our buddy Ronnie Cameraman wedged a trailer underneath a bridge one time and was stuck there, so we had to figure out how to cut the material that was holding us up out on the side of the road. Do that. We had a guy lose a roll off with you. and they came and took all the scrap away. We never saw it again. Somebody just took the scrap.
That was good scrap, too.
It was high, we had to pay for it and everything. And
DOT owns it now.
Yep. So we've had a few roll-off incidents. I've never had a dump trailer, thank God, tip over in my career. And it's hard to even watch some of those go up in the air sometimes. Like, that's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, they do it often. But it does happen. Those dump trailers go up and over.
Oh, yeah.
Dumping at mills and stuff.
Yep. You got to be sure you're on level ground and get it dumped in the right way. Big Dog once took out a bridge in Chicago. We had a van
Took
trailer.
out the bridge?
Wow. Took the trailer out. The bridge was still standing.
Was there damage to the bridge?
Maybe a scratch or two.
I wonder if they have
Big
to
Dog
do...
just putting his fist through it.
I wonder if they have to do, if a bridge is struck, if they have to do some kind of inspection. I imagine
so.
And that's got to cost a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's never cheap,
No,
is it?
no, there's nothing cheap anymore.
We had another gentleman that was employed by Noah fall asleep on an off-ramp one time, and he only damaged the trailer. He didn't, he didn't damage any scrap or dump any.
What was that?
Overalls. I'll say it that way. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Older gentleman was gonna got mouthy with Junior one day at the scrapyard. Was gonna take him out.
That must have been before me.
No.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought you were there for that. Anyways, he fell asleep and ruined one of the 550s. And yeah. So, but yeah, we have our fair share of this too. So it was. It caught my attention at least to read the article, and like I said, luckily nobody was hurt, and everybody got home safe.
Yeah, give these guys some breathing room. Any truck on the road, they can't stop, they can't see you. Just assume that something's going to fail and stay away from them.
Yeah. Next story comes out of, and my internet's being slow, so we're going to have to do this one from memory, but out of South Africa. The news source is IOL is what it says, .co.za. And so, author by, and I'm going to murder this name, Shinlahatla Masila. So, this is out of, do you guys like that?
Yeah, good
That was
job.
pretty good. Out of South Africa. And they had to call in the, we're going to call it the reaction unit, the SWAT team, because somebody brought in I'll read the title. Scrap metal collector found attempting to dismantle bomb in scrapyard. And so it looks like he has found some kind of old warhead that he thought he was going to take apart the scrapyard and melt it down that way. So this relates home for us. We actually have an armory here in Iowa that we got to scrap out some stuff one time, and it was awesome. They had these old literal missiles with a brass ring around them, and we had contacted one of our buyers to say, we'd like to not touch this and just ship it right to you. And they were not okay with that. So we had to obviously clear them through the government that they had been dismantled and were no longer live ammunition. And then saw off. It wasn't really torch cutting. We had to use the brass ring off of this so we could get the brass ring and then dismantle the steel. But there's a reason they tell you that we can't have live ammunition, whether it's brass shells or apparently warheads.
Any unexploded ordnance is pretty, that's the worst place for it, is in a scrapyard where they're, cutting stuff and whatever else it takes to process. The last thing we're going to do is be playing around with fucking bombs there. We got plenty of bombs.
I'm sure there's a story out there where somebody can share that they tried to shred one of these things one time and it was bad news. But these guys called in the reaction unit South Africa. So I'm assuming that's the SWAT team. And I think the guy got away. If I understand the story correctly, there was 3 more they found, but he was just gonna dismantle the bombs right there at the scrapyard as a peddler.
It seems like unacceptable risk to me to fucking take apart a bomb just for some scrap money.
Yeah, and they go on in the story here to talk about how there was an incident at an airport where somebody, I think, was trying to bring a bomb onto a plane, and so I don't know if this is related somehow, and this guy's trying to get rid of him now or whatever, but nevertheless, hopefully they catch the gentleman and tell him, we need you to stop trying to blow up the scrapyard. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, if you find any unexploded bombs, you should probably call authorities and say, hey, how do I deal with this? Definitely don't try to process them, guys.
Yeah. What if Tia finds one at a push iron metal scrap drive? Should Tia try to dismantle it?
No, definitely not. You should
Oven mitts and pick it up and put it in a safe spot.
Okay, well,
Just always take oven mitts with you in the event that you find.
An explosive piece of scrap.
Yeah,
Do you carry oven mints like in your car?
no.
Okay.
you should.
Why are you acting like we're weird for that? Yeah.
Scares an umbrella.
Yeah.
Why would I carry those?
Well, you wouldn't, but because you don't have an oven in your car. The reason you carry a fucking umbrella is because it might be that it's raining outside.
What grinds Brooks' gears?
Yeah, getting shit on for carrying an umbrella into a rainstorm. They were shitting on Tia for eating a grilled cheese sandwich, which is one of the most popular sandwiches in America.
I was not shitting on you, Tia. I thought it was very fitting
not
that
shitting
you
on you?
ordered a grilled cheese at a restaurant
It almost seemed like a
with
compliment.
tater tots.
It almost seemed like a
Good.
compliment.
It probably was
They
good.
are good. They're delicious. That's why they exist on every fucking menu.
On the kids' menu?
Yeah.
Yeah, the grilled
not
cheese is
on
an
the
American as
This
apple
was
pie
this
or an
in Tia's
umbrella.
defense, it was not on the kids' menu.
It was under the
There are whole restaurants geared around making different kinds of grilled cheese sandwiches.
Where are we at? We had one. There was one.
Yeah, it
it
was
was
Max.
When we did the Rag Brian Kellogg,
Oh yeah, they had that stand.
the truck,
Yeah.
grilled cheese truck.
grilled cheese food truck, but they had like bacons and tomatoes. Not Tia.
So I guess next time you just got to put some meat on your grilled cheese and then you'll get away with it. Then it's called a melt. It's no longer a grilled cheese, it's a melt.
Well, you're very defensive.
I'm not defensive. I just
Yeah.
don't understand your animosity towards grilled cheese or your animosity towards a fucking umbrella. These themes, like these are normal things.
The sun's shining.
The sun was not shining.
If we could flip the cameras and ask viewers.
Well, they know that the weather changed.
I don't have any animosity towards grilled cheese. Clearly, I love them.
Well, maybe towards people that eat grilled cheese.
I just thought it was very fitting that Tia was at a grown-up restaurant, and we didn't have any crayons or markers. It was a bar, and she didn't get a coloring book sheet when she came in, but still ordered the grilled cheese.
Keep ordering grilled cheese, especially every time you're around Jeff. Order a fucking grilled cheese. And if
I'm actually heading back to that same place today, so maybe I'll get the grilled cheese.
you should,
Yeah. So,
they're delightful.
yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do it. We'll put it on the Ruint social media. Brooks is really upset about me. And I didn't even shit on her. I just said, hey, guys, Tia just ordered a grilled cheese. That's
It just
all I
felt
said.
like you were shit upon.
She said she
Yeah.
You did, a little bit. Just
when
admit
Jack
that
picked
you
up
did.
his phone
I
after
just
she
knew
ordered.
that's what he was gonna say. Like
Right.
I just expect it now,
Right.
like from everyone.
Yeah, even you, Brooks.
I don't shit on Tia.
Just me, huh?
Kind to Tia.
To Tia. Not kind to the rest of us.
Well, the rest of you don't deserve it.
We do.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
Yeah. You told me I was big a little bit ago. You're like, yeah, look how big you are.
I didn't
It's
say
like
that.
you're channeling your inner John Remmons. How big as you, I'd kill myself. That's how I felt. Maybe I'm shit upon. So, Tia, I didn't mean to. And also, by the way, I told all you fuckers that empathy is out the window in 2024. We're done hugging your feelings. I'm over that shit. So, but Tia,
Feelings aren't hurt.
no, Tia, you're great. This has nothing to do with you. It's more about Brooks's concept of me just raining on you all the time. So,
She's just a little.
I'm just a little girl.
There it goes again.
That's what she said.
I told Tom that and he thought it was so funny.
Tia says, and I quote, I'm just a little girl.
Yeah. It's not shitting on her. I just wanted you guys to let you know, instead of taking a picture and putting it all over Instagram, I just let my close supposed friends know that Tia.
So now we're ex-friends.
Tia. Well, I mean, you're treating me like I'm the goddamn enemy. I mean, might as well be Hitler over here. So I will not inform you of what Tia orders from now on.
I'd like to know.
No, you've ruined your
Let me know
privileges.
what your order is.
You've ruined your knowing Tia's order privileges.
Corn dog and French fries, though, I might freak out.
Why? What's wrong with the corn?
Oh, here we go, dude. And she might get the applesauce too while we're at it. And
I can't think of any bar I've ever been in that puts out corn dogs.
If they got like a kids menu.
yeah,
Maybe
they put out mini corn dogs.
I like the minis.
The minis are good.
The minis in an air fryer are money.
Mini tacos are like my favorite meal on earth, and it's, your statement about my size is going to make me rethink that.
What
So,
if we take this show to the state fair? Speaking of corn dogs.
well, they let us.
There's like a 20-year waiting period to get into any part of the state.
Yeah,
Not the parking lot outside.
that's true.
Well, they probably charge you for that. They charge you for anything at that. I tried to be a food vendor there several years ago, and it was going to be like 8 years before I got the shittiest spot on site.
Food vendors, they make their whole year on that.
Oh, yeah.
My dentist used to do mini donuts. He said he made more money during the state fair during 1 week than he did for the entire rest of the year as a dentist.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Over fried butter.
Well, he didn't put. Have you ever had fried butter?
No,
It's disgusting. So they just
just like me, right, Brooks? Yeah.
they take a stick of butter and put it in batter and then stuff it in the fryer. It just melts all into the batter.
So it's hollow, kind of?
Yeah, it's a hollow log of butter, and you feel like the most disgusting thing on earth eating it.
Jeff. You feel like Jeff. Go ahead and say it, Brooks.
You're fine, pal. I don't think that you're disgusting.
Listen, guy.
The whole world thinks you're a celebrity.
Except you.
Up close.
No, I do too.
No, you started with that. You
just
put me
wanna
up on this pedestal, and then you're like, then they get up close, and they're just fucking disappointed. It's just fucking Jeff.
They gotta think you're a pro wrestler.
I don't have the body for that, though, do I? Or
Earthquake.
disgusting.
Earthquake was a pro wrestler.
The big show.
I've been thinking about doing a Woo promo with me and
Tugboat.
the big singlet.
With just the one shoulder strap, like Andre used to
Yeah.
wear. Looked like a fucking caveman guy.
Yep. So
Big dude back in the day when they had singlets, their nipples weren't even in. You know it? Like
yeah, they were. I'm not gonna do it.
What do you got?
You already know what I'm gonna say.
What? Jeff's got high nipples, and his nipples are unnaturally high.
Oh man, this show
And
is
so
never
now-
gonna be watched by anybody.
And so now he thinks that everybody else has low nipples, but it's just because.
All right,
his are
you know
so
what?
high.
Fuck it, we're down this rabbit hole.
There's a unit of measure. It's like from your ear. Or
Yeah, Brooks has got saggies.
I got the world's smallest nipple.
Yeah,
Brooks are like to his belly button.
No, they're not. They're in a perfect position. Yours are just like 3 inches lower than your neck, though.
God, I'm so big. Right? Look at that. He's got you stripping on camera.
Yeah, I really nipples.
Right. I'm just. There's a lot of real estate between the top of Brooks's shoulder and where his nipple is.
Forgot about this conversation.
Yeah, and so.
Jeff has high nipples. That's the end of the conversation. Yeah.
He likes to tickle his beard.
All right.
Baptist.
Yeah, we're never going to get a guest on this show ever again with what we talk about.
I assume we will.
We're going to refocus this thing on scrap. One thing I wanted to hit on is we do a lot of what we call scrap drives throughout the summer. And I know that's kind of prevalent with community programs and governments and stuff like that, but with something we do on our own. We do it for some government stuff, but a lot of it's private sector stuff, such as churches and school organizations. Some private school organizations, some public ones, etc. So we've got a couple of those coming up, but those are great ways to help support a cause.
Sure.
So if you are watching locally and would love for us to do that, you can definitely reach out. Tia kind of coordinates that, right, Tia?
Yep.
The job. And
Yeah,
she does a fantastic
it'd
job
even
of
be
that.
a good idea for individual sports teams, scouts, anything that you're trying to raise money for, especially if you don't have like a local place to take scrap. A lot of this stuff builds up in your basement, your garage, your corn crib, wherever you have a stack of this stuff. It's a great way to sort of boost the community and the programs that are kind of trying to get off the ground.
We do a few of them in a smaller suburb of Waterloo here, and how this community still has any scrap metal is beyond me. Because I mean, we write them a very large check every year, but they go out and find it too. They're hustling. They're going to farmers in our area and collecting any scrap metal they can. But we do a couple big ones this summer, so definitely love to see that when that's out in the community. We'll definitely document that more, and you can check all that out on all of our socials, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn. We're on all of them. So would love to see you guys share some of the stories of what you do with your scrapyard in your community too. And then let's also plug this. Are we doing weird scrap stories with you yet? Is that a thing? We talked about doing that.
Yeah, we'll set it up.
Yeah, so you guys can send Noah, just send Noah funny stories in your scrapyard, and we'll try to share those on air and get you mentioned and all that stuff, along with apparently Brooks's new segment with grinding Brooks's gears, which apparently is my physique.
Yeah, Brooks will freak.
Yeah,
It's not any topic. There's just a lot of topics that deserve some
Scrutiny.
negative attention and some scrutiny.
100%, and most of it revolves around my physical appearance, apparently. So but I tell you what, bud, I'm gonna get in shape for you. I promised myself I'm not gonna have a heart attack and die. So,
Well, we can both do it together.
all right, deal. It's on.
Hey, let's do a weigh-in at the next one. And then,
God,
and then we'll see where we're at in 3 months' time.
I'll starve myself. Still don't want to lose.
No, yeah, don't starve yourself.
no, do. Do it. Go ahead and do that. You did the carnivore thing, right?
Yeah, it works, but you get sick of it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing is finding something that's sustainable, and then you go off the deep end the other way and you're fucked.
You're just at home by yourself after a bender and just throwing crackers down and ice cream.
When I was on the carnivore, I could not stop thinking about just pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any sort of pizza.
Dude, bread and potatoes and shit. If you
It's like a
eliminate
grilled
carbs,
cheese.
right?
Like when you're at this, great bar restaurant, you're like, man, I really need the grilled cheese that's here.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyways, yeah, carbs are important.
Absolutely.
Healthy carbs, broccoli, carrots.
I'm kind of in the mood for the carbs that I get from Miller Lite. So I'm gonna
Not many of them in there. Which
No,
I'm gonna turn them into a lot though. I think I'll have 20 or 30 of those babies tonight.
I might steal their tagline, but instead of great taste, less filling, I'm going to be great taste, very filling.
that's his race on this show.
What is a
Of
case
what?
race?
Of Miller beers? Yeah.
Like who can drink the most out of a single case, or who can drink a case the fastest?
Usually it's a team, so like 2v2, and two people have to drink a case. First team done wins, obviously.
I'll take Brooks. You can have Tia.
We get shot.
I'll go up against you guys.
If I had a beer funnel, I could do probably 12.
A beer funnel. I will say this: Brooks can put them down relatively quickly. We did I hope you don't mind me share this story at the golf tournament we were just at, but we did a chugging contest of. This was actually I'll say the sponsor to Single Speed Brewery here in town. They were out giving some beers away. And, we bought a whole can of them instead of just a sample to see how fast Brooks could drink it. Not shotgun.
No shotgun.
Just what'd you call it? There's no
Carburetor.
there's no
Carb.
Most people didn't know what he was talking about.
Objective.
Yeah, but he got the whole beer down out of the can warm.
Oh.
And
7.85.
7.85.
And I mean, I thought that.
And
No.
no drop, but no drip either. Like no head, nothing like that. So
I didn't think it was a great time, but the people that tried couldn't come close.
yeah,
Yeah, and it was hot, and it was like strong beer.
See, I think a hot beer could go down faster.
well, the problem is there's no airflow on the back of it.
Yeah,
Like it's not like shotgun in a beer or beer funnel in it or whatever. Have you seen that Hawk thing they make? That's for
Freedom funnel.
yeah, that's great.
is it like a beer bong?
Yeah, but it's an
Eagle. You put the beer in the top, and then you like drink out of its tail.
it's like a slide almost for the beer.
Get one of those.
I'll get us one of those for the river.
You should.
You ever seen the beer sticks? I'd beat two.
Yeah.
A kid's water gun.
Yeah.
Fill it up with 2 beers, and you put it up against a wall or some girl's.
Yeah. There goes more guests.
That's gonna bring guests.
You think it's gonna bring them in?
I think
All right. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today on the Ruint Podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks. Actually, probably a week once this airs, right, Tia? All right, 1 week from when this airs. We'll be back the week of week
After
is it?
the holiday.
Right after the 4th of July, yeah. So the week of the 8th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, right on the money, dude. Still got it upstairs.
Good job.
Don't got it down here, apparently, Brooks, but it's mentally still all there. So, yeah, we'll be back that week. We're also get back to having some guests on the show and getting some interesting perspectives besides
For sure.
Brooks's weird fetish with his nipples and Noah wanting to put beer bongs into girls' chests. So until next time, we'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wha-boom! Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the Ruint podcast this week. Stay up to date with us at www.ruintpod.com. We also have some advertising opportunities available. Just shoot us an email at info@ruintpod.com. And to the greatest industry in the world, sometimes you just got to get out and smell that success, baby.